Grand Theft Auto 6 should have the most immersive NPCs of all time. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy yourself in this holiday season. And we are about to look into everything we know about NPC behavior and schedules in Grand Theft Auto 6. And when I say everything, I mean everything that's been confirmed, either strongly indicated by like official sources. We're going to cover everything from that over to wild speculation, because you know how much I love that stuff. But here's the thing. This might be the most ambitious NPC system we've ever seen before, ever created for a video game. So before we get into the meat of it, let's establish what we actually know for certain. Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive have filed multiple patents, yada yada. You guys always hear me talk about patents, but we have patents and trailers and leaks to go off of. And there's a lot that we can extrapolate from that information. These things give us real insight into what they're building. I'm talking about patent US 11684855B2, titled, of course, System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment, filed by David Hind and Simon Parr from Rockstar North. There's also patent US 11620781B1 for System and Method for Virtual Character Locomotion, which I just recently talked about. And that one was created by Tobias, I think, Cleanhouse. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's Rockstar's lead AI and gameplay programmer. So what I'm about to tell you, it's not all just rumors and stuff. This is stuff actually coming from official technical documents that outline revolutionary systems for how NPCs will behave in Grand Theft Auto 6. So let's start with what Rockstar has shown us in their official trailers. The first trailer dropped on December 4th, 2023, I think, and the second on May 6th, 2025. Both trailers were captured entirely in-game, meaning what we saw was supposed to be, at least, actual gameplay. And of course, it was mixed with cutscenes, and apparently all of this was running on a PlayStation 5. I've started zooming in on these frames and stuff as I've been making these videos, and it is kind of obvious that it is running on a PlayStation 5. You start to see the magic of how they're doing it. Like if you zoom in, it looks like a PlayStation 5. I don't know the technical know-how, but how the pixels look. So look, I'm zooming in right now, showing you what I'm talking about, but the full picture when it comes together sure is beautiful though. So what did we see in these trailers? We saw massive crowds of NPCs at beaches and city centers, NPCs with their phones out, actively filming and photographing what's happening around them. We saw NPCs dancing together, walking in groups, having conversations, exercising, naturally getting in and out of cars. The variety was just ridiculous. Different body types, clothing styles, tattoos, skin tones. And I know you're like, dude, this is in almost every game ever with NPCs, but no, I mean, really, look, you can really see the detail with their NPCs with this screenshot of this guy who reminds me of that meme where the guy's turning around and looking at that lady and his wife's giving him that stare. Just look at these old people. They look old and everyone's like sunburned and stuff. It's legit, man. At least texturing wise and how they look, there's so much detail there. But there should be even more detail with how we go about interacting with these NPCs. Think about Red Dead Redemption 2 and the way we interacted with them in that. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's just, when you watch the trailers, every frame felt like it was just packed with life. Think about that beach shot, that first time you saw it. I saw one comment somewhere and they're like, the first thing I'm gonna do is throw a grenade right there. And I mean, that's how it goes with Grand Theft Auto games, right? But Grand Theft Auto 6, man, just looks ridiculous with the trailers. I don't have to tell you that, you've seen it yourself. But here's where it gets really interesting. According to those patents, NPCs in Grand Theft Auto 6 are getting a complete overhaul in how they navigate and exist in the world. So in previous Grand Theft Auto games, NPCs would basically follow invisible waypoints. They drive in predetermined patterns, and when something unexpected happened, they'd react in a limited, often ridiculous way. Remember slamming into an NPC in Grand Theft Auto 5 and you just kind of watch them immediately forget you exist 5 seconds later? Because that's how the system's created. It's basic, and it had to be for the hardware for the time, and that's why Grand Theft Auto 5 in a lot of ways felt like a step backward from Grand Theft Auto 4. That navigation pattern though really does change a lot, because it suggests that instead of NPCs blindly following waypoints, they're going to use hierarchical course graph navigation. And over the course of creating these videos, I swear I've gotten better at saying hierarchical. But anyways, in simple terms, NPCs will understand the road network at a high level. They'll know which roads lead where, which routes are faster, which areas to avoid. Each NPC will have its own driving profile with unique characteristics, different acceleration and braking distances, different top speeds, different cornering abilities. Some NPCs will be cautious drivers who obey every traffic law. Others, they're going to be aggressive, weaving through traffic, speeding, taking risks. And it gets even crazier. NPCs will make real-time decisions based on what's actually happening around them. If there's a traffic jam, and you've heard me talk about this before, but if there's a traffic jam, they can reroute to side streets. If there's a car accident blocking the road, they'll detect it and navigate around it. If it's raining, they'll slow down and adjust their driving. driving. The patent explicitly states that NPCs will drive slower on residential streets and perform specific maneuvers to avoid oncoming traffic on single-lane roads. The system also uses significantly less processing power than conventional NPC systems. This is what I was primarily talking about in the AI video, about how they're using AI for optimization strategies as well with the Rage 9 engine. So all of this means Rockstar can have way more NPCs on screen without tanking performance. Oh man, I'm sorry guys, I just keep tripping over my words, and that's because I need more sleep. So you might be asking me, Dandy Andy, what's that incredibly comfortable looking thing on your face? Well, today's video is sponsored by Manta Sleep, the people behind the best sleep masks I've ever used in my life. And look, I'm not kidding here. I run this channel, now I've got a little podcast, I'm editing nonstop, and I work on top of all of that. So sleep, it's very rare, and oh man, I have so much trouble falling asleep. The Manta Sleep mask is a freaking lifesaver. Manta Sleep's masks are fully adjustable, they fit literally any face, and they give you 100% blackout. The eye cups are also super soft, breathable, which means you don't have to worry about your face getting all sweaty, and there's zero pressure on your eyelids. These guys are on the cutting edge of sleep mask technology, and they don't just have this one mask. You've got options. They've got the original mask, which is 100% blackout. They've got a silk mask. They've got the pro mask for side sleeping. They've got a steam mask if you need heat. They've got a cool mask if you need cool. They've got a weighted mask if you need some calming pressure. They have a kid's mask, and they even have a sound mask with Bluetooth so that you can listen to your favorite audiobook or whatever while you're sleeping. I could put this sleep mask on and instantly feel like I'm somewhere quiet, I'm in my happy place. That's why Manta is all about the pro nap movement, because sometimes the only way to survive is a freaking nap. So when you're at work, after you finish watching your favorite Dandy Andy video, put this bad boy on, get a 20-minute nap, and then go back to work. So if you want to upgrade your sleep, your naps, and your sanity, check out Manta Sleep. There's a link in the description, and use code DANDY for 10% off your order. Again, that code is DANDY. All right, back to the video. Now, let's talk about the animation system, because this is where things are just, I mean, it's bonkers, man. They're going next level with everything they do for this game, it seems. The character locomotion patent that I brought up earlier outlines a data-driven animation system that's completely different from traditional animation trees. Instead of having separate pre-made animations for every possible scenario, Grand Theft Auto 6 uses modular animation building blocks that can then be combined dynamically. Think of it kind of like Lego pieces for movement. Here's how it works. Every NPC has what's called a blackboard, a virtual representation of their current state that stores information about their condition, location, the weather, temperature, and everything else, a bunch more stuff. The game's code reads this blackboard and dynamically selects appropriate animations based on all these factors. So if an NPC is walking in the rain while tired, the system blends together building blocks for wet weather movement, fatigue, and their base walking skill. If they're injured, that gets factored in too. So what's the result of all of these systems working together? Well, NPCs that move in ways that actually match their current situation and emotional state. This means you could see the same NPC move completely differently depending on the context of what's happened to them. Relaxed and confident on a sunny day beach, or hunched and hurried during a rainstorm. These are things that you've seen before, but we're seeing a bit of an advancement here in how all of these systems work together and how natural it will be that these NPCs react to the world around them. And you've seen, like, when you shoot an NPC in the leg, they'll limp and stuff in the past, so stuff like that, of course, is going to be in this game. But the variety of possible animations becomes nearly endless because the way the system is designed, it's generating them on the fly by combining these building blocks. So instead of just playing an animation and then, Euphoria kind of plays after, or however the Euphoria physics system worked into it, we're going to see a lot more on-the-spot kind of animations that should look a little different every time you see them. And that's the biggest thing here, is when you see an animation in another game, in another Grand Theft Auto game or a Rockstar game, you've seen the animations before. Once you've seen them enough, you've seen them. Even with the Euphoria physics and the randomness that adds, this should add another level of complexity when it comes to what you see NPCs actually do around you. And subconsciously, at least, this will make the world around you feel just so much more alive. And you might not be able to pinpoint why. Well, it's because you're not seeing the same exact animations over and over and over again. And all evidence suggests this system is going to be in Grand Theft Auto 6, but evolved with a modern setting. As I've said previously, Red Dead Redemption 2 has some of this, but in Grand Theft Auto 6, it's going to be next level. There's really no other way to put it. NPCs are going to remember past interactions with you to some extent. Now, how far? We're not sure. I don't think it's going to be an NPC per NPC kind of thing where every NPC has a soul and remembers every single thing you ever did and what you ate for breakfast that morning. I think it's probably going to be more region-based, kind of like New Vegas. And it already kind of was in Red Dead Redemption 2. If you shot up Valentine or something and you come back, they'd be like, hey, don't come back here. So stuff like that, just expect that, but more expanded on. And if you threatened a shopkeeper 3 days ago in this game, they'll recognize you when you come back. Think about those systems in Red Dead Redemption 2 that were there with the NPCs, and now advance those a little bit in your mind, and then put them into Grand Theft Auto 6. That's basically kind of what we're going to see. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 made massive advancements in the way NPCs just work in the world, and Grand Theft Auto 5 was severely lacking that. In Grand Theft Auto 4, as much as I praise it, I mean, it is a product of its time, even though those physics are still incredible. And the world does feel alive, but it's not as alive as Red Dead Redemption 2. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is just going to be nuts. But the reaction of the NPCs, they're going to be informed by the history of what's happened to them. Fear, aggression. They might immediately call the cops if they see you again, be like, oh no, you robbed me last time, that's the guy, stuff like that. And the leaked development footage from 2022 showed UI elements that support this, including witness prompts and police dispatch timers. And of course, speaking of witnesses, I've talked about this a lot recently, but it does seem that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to modernize Red Dead 2's witness system. In Red Dead 2, if you committed a crime and someone witnessed it, they'd physically run to find a lawman and report it. You could chase them down and stop them, of course, or talk to them. But in Grand Theft Auto 6, witnesses, they're going to have smartphones. So you're not going to be getting away with the stuff you're getting away with. No tying up nuns and putting them on railroad tracks with no one noticing anymore, guys. The 2022 leak footage showed a yellow indicator system. When a witness sees basically you commit a crime, this yellow icon appears. If it's flickering, you still have time to threaten them or flee before they report it. If it turns red, they're actively calling the police or escaping, and the information is already being relayed. Now, this was all alpha footage, so how it is implemented in the final game, who knows? But what makes this really cool and interesting is the potential social media element too. Multiple scenes in the official trailers, of course, show NPCs recording events on their phones. The entire aesthetic of trailer 1 was structured like a social media feed. And a lot of it was flavor, but also it's pointing out the social media integration that's going to be in the game. And think about how the witness system will work with people whipping out their phones, putting you on whatever the game's equivalent of Instagram is, or like Life Invader. NPCs are going to film your crimes, and that footage could go viral in the game. And maybe then there's a notoriety system, and your notoriety starts to spread. Police responses could become more aggressive. Other NPCs might recognize you from viral videos. And I should have said this earlier because right now we're getting into speculation based off of the things that we've seen. Take a lot of this with salt. Now, am I pretty much 100% confident this is what we're going to see? Yeah, but I can't predict the future. So I just want to be 100% transparent with you on that. But let's get into traffic and driving AI, because that is where you're going to probably see the biggest improvement, just given how much time you spend driving in Grand Theft Auto games. And this should be a massive improvement. The navigation patent describes how NPC vehicles will behave in ways that actually make sense. Current games struggle with traffic because NPCs only check each individual frame for obstacles in their immediate vicinity. They don't really have a memory of previous areas they've been and understanding. They have no context of what's happening around their immediate space, which is why you get some wacky traffic stuff in older Grand Theft Auto titles, or even games like Cyberpunk. And that's why you see NPCs in GTA 5 drive directly into you, even though I swear that that is intentional. A lot of that stuff that causes car pileups that wasn't meant to happen, as funny as it is and as awesome as it is, you can still expect all of that stuff, just expect it to be believable and to look more realistic and to happen more naturally. Grand Theft Auto 6's system gives NPCs spatial awareness and memory, to some extent, at least enough to make context-based decisions on what is going on around them. They'll consider multiple factors simultaneously, and you've heard me talk specifically about this before, because this is going to be a huge improvement. Just, I don't know, it's so cool to me thinking about NPCs being on the road, making all these decisions and stuff like that. I cannot wait to drive and see how that plays out. And there's this frame here in the trailer in first person in the car where you see, there's a plane going overhead, there's these guys in the bed of a truck, and I think this is it, guys. I think this is the gameplay. I think we're seeing it right here in real time. This is the kind of stuff you're going to be seeing on the roads. Traffic jams will create authentic behavior, NPCs taking detours while others wait it out, accidents will cause realistic slowdowns and congestion. Imagine getting stuck in like gridlock traffic and people start getting out of their vehicles and saying like, hey, what's the holdup? Stuff like that. I don't know how deep it's going to go, guys, but the road should be a lot more interesting, because think about it. They know how much time you spend on the road in a Grand Theft Auto game, and they know how repetitive it gets driving places. And the old ways of doing things where NPCs are wacky and run into street lights and cause car pileups completely randomly, that was a product of its time. It was fun and cool then. Now there's going to be a lot more almost kind of emergent storytelling and emergent gameplay that that comes just from how the NPCs interact with the environment with just this little bit of context, just this little bit of memory that they have working. Even if it's not like a permanent memory, don't think of it like that, but more just a temporary memory to make realistic context-based situations in a given amount of time that you would realistically spend around someone out in the open world, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? And here's something really cool. The game can now apparently handle way more NPCs compared to previous games that topped out at around 50 to 100 intelligent NPCs before performance degraded. So now let's move into strongly speculated territory. And man, this is always my favorite. You know, speculation based on credible technical analysis and the leaked 2022 developmental footage. You know. So it's speculation, but it's based in reality. It's not my space video, just saying. But anyways, apparently, according to the leaked 2022 footage that Rockstar definitely confirmed was real, especially taking it down and stuff, apparently it showed 1,300 unique world events in the game files compared to about 60 in Grand Theft Auto 5. World events are those random encounters where people kind of come up to you, maybe get bit by a snake or like, hey, mister, you know, that kind of stuff. Maybe even just people performing on the streets or arguments between NPCs you can overhear, car accidents, crimes, and sometimes they turn into missions, full-blown missions. 1,300? I don't know. We'll see. But with the budget, I don't know. Anything's possible. The footage also showed extensive NPC interaction options. Now, this is some of the stuff I did see. You'll be able to threaten NPCs, rob them, zip tie them, melee them, and interact with them in multiple ways depending on the context. Just like in Red Dead Redemption 2, just expanded on. There were weapon wheels split into different sections for weapons, equipment, and gear. I talked about this recently in my weapon system video. There were systems for reviving yourself after taking heavy damage, similar to how you could revive your horse in Red Dead Redemption 2. How I imagine that is basically Jason or Lucia could be downed and the other one could pick the other up. In Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah, there were 3 different protagonists or whatever, but there wasn't really that teamwork feeling in most of the missions. It was just kind of like they're there as set dressing and you can switch over to one, and really there is only a couple of linear paths you could take with them, so there wasn't a lot of choice. It seems this time they're going really hard on the whole teamwork aspect between Jason and Lucia, kind of an army of 2 approach. And the police system is of course getting a complete overhaul as well. Instead of constantly spawning cops who just throw themselves at you and magically know where you are, Grand Theft Auto 6 seems to implement response times and investigation mechanics. Now, I did have to put this in the heavy speculated stuff because this is stuff we saw in the leaks, but there's a lot of conclusions being drawn from it based on what we saw on how the police systems will work. If you watch the Hank's Waffle Heist stuff, like in the leaked footage, you know what I'm talking about though. Witnesses will provide descriptions of your clothes, your vehicle, your direction of travel. Police are going to have to piece together information before they can effectively hunt you. The speculation is that you'll be able to evade them by breaking line of sight, changing vehicles, switching outfits, or laying low in crowds or interiors. Kind of sounds like Assassin's Creed, except I don't think you're going to be praying. But changing your car won't work if witnesses have a good description of you personally. The leaked footage also showed CCTV cameras with detection cones, and that reminds me of Cyberpunk. So there's kind of a digital witness system element here going on with security cameras in certain areas recording crimes. And this just adds another layer of complexity on how you could get caught, on how you need to plan your escapes, because it's fun planning out how you're going to accomplish whatever goal it is that you're trying to accomplish in these games. And now it sounds like you're gonna have to really plan out how you're gonna rob something or complete an objective. And that's really freaking cool. Okay, so let's get into just complete bonkers territory. Tinfoil hat time. Let's do it. This is where we need to be really clear about sources because this is Reddit stuff, okay? So there was a Reddit post from a user named BreadfruitIC5141 who claimed to have worked on Grand Theft Auto 6, and their account has since been deleted, but according to that post from them, NPCs in Grand Theft Auto 6 will have actual schedules. The same NPC you see at the beach in a bathing suit on Saturday afternoon will be spotted in a suit and tie during the weekdays. I don't know about all that, but we'll see. City traffic will be heavier during morning rush hour around 5 p.m. on weekdays. The post also claimed that major events like concerts, sporting events even, and conventions will dynamically change NPC population density around Vice City. When there's a big concert downtown, for example, that area is supposed to get flooded with NPCs wearing branded merchandise for that event. And think like Love Fist, like them coming in, who knows, maybe Love Fist is doing a reunion tour. Tourists are going to have appropriate gear for whatever's happening in the city. So I want to be crystal clear. This came from a deleted Reddit account and there's no way to verify those claims. It could be real insider info. It could just be educated speculation based on patents and trailers, kind of like what we do here. It could just be complete fiction and gobbledygook. Who knows? We don't know. but it's been widely discussed in the community because it fits with everything else we're seeing about Rockstar's ambition for this game. There's also speculation that social media will be a core mechanic beyond just that witness system. Beyond the whole notoriety thing, the idea is that you could engage with the game in social media platforms, maybe even post your own clips, edit highlights, so kind of like the Rockstar editor might even be built into this. And maybe not only could you share these kinds of clips online with people and stuff like that, and that'll kind of go more into the Grand Theft Auto Online element, but maybe in the game itself, you could build a following within the game world. Your criminal activity could make you infamous, with NPCs recognizing you as that guy who robbed the stadium on live stream. And while that might sound ridiculous, this is the world of Grand Theft Auto, so hey, everything's on the table. Rival gangs might taunt you in the comment section from like an in-game post. Can you imagine that? It's a fascinating concept, and I think it would tie together the satire that Rockstar is known for with actual gameplay consequences, so that could be a really cool, clever blend of tying everything together, I think. And some analysts believe we'll see live events in the game inspired by Fortnite's success with virtual concerts. So imagine like you're attending an in-game concert in a Vice City venue, maybe Love Fist or something like that, but maybe real artists as well. Think about what they did with Dr. Dre and Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. Rockstar's not scared to make business deals with musicians. Think about it. They have all these songs and licenses in their game, and it could be extremely lucrative for them to stay relevant, bringing modern artists in to do performances on stage in-game. This kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 4, where you had like Ricky Gervais and Cat Williams and stuff like that come and actually do live stand-up. It was really freaking cool. Imagine thousands of NPCs in attendance functioning as both a social space and potentially a setting for missions or anything, maybe throwing a hand grenade into their concert. Who knows? Musicians like Drake, DJ Khaled, whatever. Him, I know he's really popular, but others, and they've been speculated to be connected to Grand Theft Auto 6's soundtrack and music scene, though nothing is confirmed beyond a few licensed tracks in the trailers and the fact that Drake texted Millie Bobby Brown before she turned 18. Just saying. Okay, anyways, moving on. The police system speculation gets even wilder. People are talking about 6-star wanted levels potentially returning, and man, I sure hope they do because they were really fun, but at the same time, I don't know, it's looking like Noose is gonna whoop our butts, so do we really want the military on us in this game? Of course we do, right? The more the better. If you got what it takes to get there, why not, right? Steal a Rhino tank, blow stuff up. Who knows, man? Who knows? But again, this kind of stuff, we're in the theoretical territory now, just based off of stuff. Just little crumbs here, rubbing them together, trying to make cake out of them, But K9 units, drones for surveillance, armored vehicles for high wanted levels, riot shields, tear gas for crowd control, tactical perimeters and flanking maneuvers. I mean, why not? With the budget and how much money this freaking game's gonna make. If it ain't there at launch, I think we're gonna see stuff like this eventually in Grand Theft Auto Online and then bleed into single player. Again, we'll see. This is just what people are thinking. And with all the stuff I just said, it's basically like police will act more like actual tactical units instead of mindlessly rushing at you. And I don't even know why I put that in this wildly speculated thing. I guess because it bleeds so much into so many different areas of what's confirmed to just absolute bonkers ideas. I mean, the police are a huge part of the game. Weather is another big part of the game. The patents mention NPCs responding to weather conditions, and people are speculating this goes beyond just driving slower in rain or sliding around like that stupid racing mission in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas I kept failing over and over and over again. Good God, that mission drove me nuts. And the toy RC mission stuff, oh my God. It was fun, but good God, it was hard with those controls. Anyways, I digress. So in this game, I would expect NPCs to be seeking shelter during storms. That's been speculated. NPCs, we're going to see them with umbrellas. Maybe they change their clothing choice based on the forecast. I mean, that does not surprise me. The Florida setting, Vice City, makes weather particularly relevant with tropical storms, heat waves, and humidity all playing a part of the environment. And if you look at these screenshots and just see the way people look and how the environment has impacted their bodies, well, and alcohol consumption, it does kind of give us a good idea on just how far in depth they're going with these systems. NPCs are probably going to be reacting to your appearance. You're covered in blood or wearing dirty, torn clothes. NPCs are going to comment on it, avoid you. Well, I wonder if they'll call the police too. Like if you're covered in blood, if you're dressed well, you might get compliments or different treatment in certain establishments. It kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas' sex appeal system. And this game does seem to hint at those RPG systems that we saw in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas returning to some extent. And this was hinted at in some job listings Rockstar posted for dialogue writers mentioning contextual NPC reactions. Here's what we can say with confidence. Rockstar is definitely building something they've never built before with their NPC systems. They are, okay? That we know for sure. The official patents prove they've developed new technology specifically to make NPCs smarter. And to the people who are like, well, those are just patents, bro. Why do you think they're doing these patents and spending all this time and money with them if they're not going to use them in their games? I mean, it's silly to just say that. What are you on about? But anyways, yes, of course, they're just patents, bro, because they're going to use those patents, the information, the technology that they're patenting to implement this stuff into their game. Duh. behaviors. They're going to be more diverse, more believable. These NPCs are going to be actual inhabitants of what feels like a true living world. The trailers show the visual results, man. I mean, look at it. The crowds look genuinely alive. NPCs engaged in activities, it all makes sense. Everything you look at, it's dense, and there's so much variety like we've never seen before. And Red Dead Redemption 2 was the rocket that got us here on the moon, and now we're going to Mars, you know? So think about how the NPCs were in that game. They felt real. They felt like real people with routines, memories, and personalities. And now Grand Theft Auto 6 is taking those lessons and building on them with modern technology in a contemporary setting with smartphones and social media everywhere, and patents that describe AI systems more sophisticated than anything currently in gaming. Will every speculation pan out? Probably not. Game development rolls like that. You have a bunch of stuff in the game and you just start stripping away what doesn't work right up until launch. So there are things that we've mentioned that might be in the game now, but won't be on launch. That sucks, but that's just how it rolls. Like in Skyrim, the ability to ride around on a dragon, I think, was originally in the vanilla game, and if not, other stuff like that, and eventually they added it back in via DLC. Now, I know that game is old enough to be in high school now, which is, good Lord, man, where does the time go? But it's just crazy, guys. What you're going to see is going to completely blow you away. And it's even more crazy to think that 2026 is 8 years after Red Dead Redemption 2. And Red Dead Redemption 2 still feels brand new and leaps and bounds ahead of every game ever. And Rockstar, they have 8 years, almost 10 years. Good Lord, just think about it. It's going to be bigger and badder than anything you've ever seen before. And you know this, okay? You know this. And I think a lot of us try to temper our expectations and be like, oh, I'm not even going to get hyped about it anymore. Maybe that's healthy. Maybe it's healthy to take a step back. But if you want this information, if you want to get excited about it, that's what I'm here to do. So if you want more videos like this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you here. It's a good time. I have been kind of stepping away for a little bit just to kind of recoup, but I'm about to come back bigger and badder than ever. And I am going to start talking about some other stuff. Shoutout time. Whoa. Shoutout time. All right, guys. So I've got a bunch of shoutouts listed and everything. So I went on ahead and I divided my list, put it into 2 parts. So the other batch of shoutouts will be in the next video. Okay. So if I didn't get to you this time, you're probably in the next one. Just be patient with me. It's hard to round all of you up. And I really appreciate you guys asking for shoutouts. It's fun. I like doing this. This is really cool. All right. So let's get into it. Shout out to Mr. Bobo 2020, and shout out to his pregnant wife, who at the time of asking was 37 weeks pregnant and now would be 39 weeks pregnant and apparently is suffering. It's hard. So dude, congratulations to you. I hope you and your wife are doing okay. That's hard stuff, man. So shout out to you, shout out to your wife, and shout out to you for, it sounds like you're being an awesome supportive partner. So shout out to you, man. And really, I wish you all the best with the pregnancy and with the birth and everything. I hope everything goes well. Let us know how it goes in the comments, man. Like, tell us how you're doing. I hope you're doing all right, man. Especially your wife, because man, I'm glad we don't have to do that. Next, shout out to AJ Storm 3000, because I forgot to shout out his dogs. I shouted out Casper, man, but I didn't shout out your dogs. I'm sorry about that. So shout out to Zala and Ruby, 2 very special pups, and I hope they're doing splendid today or tonight. Then we have Divinity and Order. And you know what, man? One love, brother. I really appreciate you, man. One love. Then we have Epileptic Gamer 7. Oh, snap. I need to chill out on the flashing in my videos, man. Okay, and apparently you do have epilepsy. Well, dude, I will try and keep the flashing lights and stuff like that to a minimum. I hope it's not too much with all the cuts. I don't know too much about all that stuff, but I hope you're doing okay, and I really appreciate you watching the videos, man. So thank you so much for being here. Then we have PB Reefer Chiefer 420. That's an awesome name. Dude, your kind words make doing this stuff just so much easier. Like, you have no idea. Really, thank you. It's like you get a negative comment and that's what sticks in your head. Not me so much. The positive comments stick in my head. There's been so much love, and this is really cool to see this community with the Grand Theft Auto 6 fan base and everything like that. Just have all this love, even though the first thing a lot of us are going to do is throw like a hand grenade into a crowd of people when we play the game. I don't know. Life is absurd. Shout out to you, homie. Then shout out again to Base Sanchez 1. I think I got to you before, but I don't remember. I'm not 100% certain. So shout out to you again, just to make sure I got you, man. I hope you're doing all right. Then we have Bubsy LOL said, shout out to Rockstar so they won't be mad. Shout out to Rockstar Games. Don't take down any of my videos, please. Then we have Sahara Unlimited 9331. And dude, I also hope we can feed people to alligators in Grand Theft Auto 6. Come on, we got to. They're all over the place. They're everywhere. So many people are about to get fed to gators in this game, man. Shout out to Riot Maker 650 and their brother, Captain Crunch 173. Man, shout out to both of y'all. Thank you so much for watching these videos and for joining us on this crazy journey, man. Really appreciate having you here. Then shout out to Joeth Frets 08. And to answer your question, the first thing I'm going to do in Grand Theft Auto 6 is get in a vehicle and just bump into into the NPCs, like slowly, like very slowly, not try to hurt them really, just kind of bump into them and see what happens. I want to see, just want to see. That's all I'm going to say about that. Then we have Nuryan G8U. Shout out to you, homie. Then we have Graham Cracker 3410, who said to once again shout out our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So shout out to you, Jesus. Jesus is up in here, man. I feel the spirit in these videos, man, talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. Shout out Jesus. Oh, man. All right. And shout out to Shozy Matt. I probably should end it on Jesus, right? Lord, forgive me. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, all of that. It means Christmas for me, so Merry Christmas. Have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. Just stay safe out there, guys. Don't slip and fall out on the ice. Stay in the warm. Watch Die Hard 3 million times. Have a great night. I'm so tired, man. I'm rambling. Merry Christmas. Peace, y'all.